Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Exposing Catholicism, where we expose to you the teachings of the Catholic faith, the teachings which the Church has always taught from its beginning. Hello, my name is Tonga Chipangura. I am your host in this series where we are defining who is God, and we give a definition of God in other series, and we say that God is a supreme being who alone exists of himself and is infinity in all perfections. And when we explain word by word until we come to in all perfections, then we say, no, let's look at some of these perfections, some of these characteristics of God, some of these attributes of God. Let's look deep into them, and we come to look at the first one on the last video, which is omnipotence. So if you have not watched that video and the other videos, I will advise you to do so that you can make sense of what we are trying to teach and learn and instruct you here. So today, let's look at one of the attributes of God, which is omnipresent. This attribute means that God is outside of time and space. Therefore, outside of time and space, it means you have to go to look at the video whereby we explain what do we mean by say who alone exists of himself. There is a video on its own when we explain who alone exists of himself, what it means. If you see again that explanation, we can fit into this attribute of God that we are penetrating today. Omnipresent means God is always present and everywhere. There is no past in God. There is no future in God. There is only now in God, the present. This is what we are saying when we say omnipresent. What we call time in God is only present, the now. E.g., what happens when Jesus Christ was crucified? When was he crucified in Jerusalem? He was crucified in AD 33. But we say no, there is no time in God. Omnipresent. He's always present. It's only now. So to God, Jesus Christ is crucified now as you are watching this video. Now as I'm speaking to this video, those who are going to watch this video, he is crucified. Jesus Christ is crucified in Jerusalem to God now, because God is omnipresent. He is outside of time and space. No, to God, it's now present. There's no time to God. It's only now, the present, limitless, infinity present. That's why God is outside of time. He is also outside of space. That's why God is able to be everywhere at the same time. But he is outside of time and space. The time that I'm talking about is the time as we know it as human beings. But God is the time which is to God is only the present, the now. It means anything which happens in the time of Abraham to God is happening now as I'm speaking to you. Anything which happens in the time of Moses to our God is happening now, because he is omnipresent, infinitely, limitlessly outside of time and space. We, the finite, yes, we are in time. We can see what is directly in front of us, the present. I can see what is happening now, what is directly in front of me now. That is what I call the present. I can remember what passes in front of me, in front of us. We can remember. We call that past. But we cannot see what is coming, the future. We see the present, we remember the past, and we can only predict. We can only anticipate the future, but it's unknown to us. But because God is outside of past, he is outside of future, he is in the present. He sees all at once. That's why we can say to God, Jesus Christ is being crucified right now to God, although we humans say he is crucified in the year AD 33. So tomorrow, 2050, is present to God. Therefore, Jesus, I continue bringing this. Jesus is being crucified. He is in the presence of God right now being crucified. You must understand that. This is what we call omnipresent. God is everywhere. Always, everywhere. Every time, every minute, every second. He is everywhere. He is in that history. But that history, to him, God, he sees it as present, as now. The now God. He sees the beginning, he sees the end, the now, all at the same time. He is in all spaces, as we know what a space is. We know what a space is. He is in all spaces at the same time as we know what time is. But he is outside of time and space. It's like to God, time and space doesn't exist. What exists is only now, the present, omnipresent. God is everywhere. God is omnipresent. He is everywhere. So I want you to understand, God is outside of time and space. Abraham is crucifying his son Isaac right now to God. To us as human beings, we say he was crucified in that history before Jesus was born. So, but to God, Abraham is crucifying his son right now in the present. It's present to God. Jesus Christ is being crucified as we speak, as I'm speaking to you, as you are watching this video, right in the present to God, because God is omnipresent. He is outside of time and space. He sees everything. He sees everything, all everything, the history, the what, the past, and even the future. He brings them to present right now. That is what we mean when we say God is omnipresent. Thank you very much for continuing watching. We are learning a lot of things. So please, for you to continue learning with us, subscribe to this channel, like the videos that we do, share with your friends and enemies. And again, thank you for watching. But to make sense of what we are talking about, I urge you, if this is your first video, go back and check and listen to all the other videos that we have made. Thank you and good night.